Hello, welcome to your retake for Module 7 test. This is a retake. Woo! All right, we're going to do better the second time. Here we go. All right, the first ones were just graphing inequalities. We know how to do this. This should be nice and easy. Just put 4 on here somewhere, and it's a negative. So -3, -2, -5, -6. All right, it doesn't have an equal sign on there, so it's going to be open. Then we're going to shade it. X is less than -4. If you're not sure, look, they match. Those arrows match. All right, let's keep going. We're going to put 11, 12, 13, 10, 9. All right, open circle. No, it should be closed because we have an equal sign on there. It's going to be a closed one. And that says X is greater than 11, so I'm going to shade to the right. Also, if you're not sure, look, that's pointing that way and that way. It only works if X is on the left. All right, we're going to fill in 8, 9, 10, 7, 6, close circle, and I'm shading less than. All right, this next one, X is not on the left, so I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to put X on the left, -1 on the right, and then go back to the original problem. It's opening to the -1, so make it open up to the -1. And now we've got it. So I've got -1, -2, -3, 0, 1, 2. Closed or open circle? It should be open. Open at -1. And X is less. See, this one's confusing to look at. Look at this one. All right, we're going to add and subtract. Oh my gosh. You should be able to do this. We're going to add 5 to both sides, get X is greater than or equal to 17. -8, -8. X is less than -11. -6.2, -6.2. X is greater than, let me add the decimal on there. That should be like 3.8. And, this one is on the wrong side. I'm going to rewrite it. X -4, put the -11 on that side, and it opened to the 11. All right, now I'm going to solve it. X is less than or equal to a -7. All right, we should be able to graph it. 17, -11. Oh, don't put 3.8 on here. Put 3 and 4. It's going to be in between them. All right. Close circle, and I'm shading this way. Open circle, same direction. 3.8 is probably going to be about here. Open circle, and it's greater than, it's going that way. 3.8 is in between 3 and 4. And this should be a closed circle and less than. How are we doing? All right, now we're going to start solving one-step equations. We got this. All right, the 4 and the X are multiplying, so we're going to divide. What you do to one side, you do to the other. There it is. Put it on here, -5, -6, -7, -4, -3. There it is. All right. The X and the 8 are dividing, so we're going to multiply. That's the opposite. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Won't these cross cancel? And you're going to get X is greater than 88. Oh my gosh, that's a big number. And I just wrote it in the middle. That's not helpful. How about 88 here? All right, open circle, and we're going to shade to the right. Let's keep going. These are multiplying, the -2 and the X, so the opposite is divide. Divide by -2, divide by -2. 1X is, should I do that? No, I should not. Watch out. This is wrong, because if you divide by both sides by a negative, you need to change the inequality. So it should face this way. All right, so we're going to put -7 on here. Open circle on 7, and X is now less. It's going that direction. Watch out. If you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you've got to change the inequality. All right, I've got a fraction in front of that x. I want to get rid of it. So use the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. It also happens to be negative, so let's get rid of that too at the same time. What I do to one side, I do to the other. All right, look, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and negative times negative is positive. The only thing I have left is now an x. I might want to cross cancel on here. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Going to get 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Normally my sign would go this way, but we just multiplied both sides by a negative. So watch out and flip it. So here's negative 12. Do you notice the number line is, the numbers are a little different since they're in the negatives? All right, open. Oh no, I forgot that. We're going to close it. Close point on negative 12 and shade less. Ta-da! That's our first page done. All right, now two-steppers. You're going to solve them the same way we did equations, right? We drew the line. We got rid of the 2 first. Bring down our inequality. Instead of an equal sign, we have 3x and 15. Then divide both sides by 3. You guys are like great at this by now. All right, we'll come back. We don't even have to graph it. Oh, thank goodness. All right, same thing on this side. Think of it as an equal sign. What we do to one side, we do to the other. All right, minus 6, minus 6. I'm going to bring this down and get negative 4 here. X over a negative 5. All right, I want to get x by itself. So right now it's dividing by 5. There's also a negative on it. So let's multiply by negative 5. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Do you see that we just multiplied both sides by a negative? So we're going to flip the inequality. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1x. On this side, a negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. Looking good. And the last one, get rid of that 4. Bring down the inequality. Look at that. We're doing negatives every time. Right now, that negative 9 and x are multiplying, so we're going to divide. We just divided by a negative on both sides, so flip the inequality and get negative 4. All right, we are almost done. Let's simplify some of these things. These first two don't even have an equal sign. That means we're just going to distribute. Negative 3 times 2k is negative 6k. A negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15. There's no equal sign. We can't combine those. They're not like terms. We're done. Let's do half of 14 is 7. Ooh, that doesn't look like a 7. 7x. Half of 8 is a positive 4. That's all you had to do on those. All right, this one, we're going to actually solve it because there's an equal sign. We have 4 x's on the left, 12 on the right. You should be like, oh my. That was my brain. It already knew the answer. All right, bring down the equal sign every time. 1x equals 3. Looking good. All right. Woo! We know how to do these. Look right here. A negative 4 times 7 is negative, ooh, don't move, negative 28. On this one, take care of these first. So that'll be a negative 8 plus 5. If you need to do scoreboard, do it. You got 8 negatives, 5 positives, 3 more negatives. Oh, I'm going to cross cancel. That's like multiplying. 3 goes in there once, 3 goes in here, 7. Don't forget it's a negative. So a negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. All right. Oh, let's rewrite this problem. You guys should be pros at this. 9 over 10 divided by 5 over 3. We're going to do a little keep, change, flip. Here we go. Change that to multiply, and we flip it, do the reciprocal. I cannot cross cancel, so I just get 27 over 50. That's yucky. All right. Look at that. 2 more problems. We're done. Okay, we've got 15 Tucky bags, cost $22.50. So I always put the money on top and like the number, how many items I have on the bottom. Let's set up a ratio here. It costs $22.50 for 15 bags. So you would just divide those to find out how many 1 would be. Put it in your calculator. Beep, boop, beep, boop. 1 bag of Takis cost $1.50. Yep. This is very similar to the review you already should have done when you took this test. I just made it a little shorter. All right, last one. Let's change this into an equation. 18. When you see the word is in math, it just means equal, equals. When we see the word what in math, if we don't know something in math, use a variable like x or n or something here. What percent of means to multiply. So multiply by 30. There. Now we have a math problem. How do you get x by itself? Divide by 30. Divide by 30. X equals 0.6. But if you go back to the problem, they said what percent? So change this to a percent. Bloop, bloop. 60%. 18 is 60% of 30. That's it. Practice the ones you struggled with. You can redo this test and do much better. Good job.